We all know someone who heads online to research their symptoms at the first signs of illness, but now a new study says the accuracy of these programs isn't always great. AM medical expert Dr. Marla Shapiro joins us now with more. And Marla, so interesting because is this the first study of its kind, the largest study of its kind?
It's really looking at the accuracy of symptom checkers, which is a little bit different than going to a website and putting in a couple of things. These actually generate either through tick lists or you can write in your symptoms and it will spit out what the possible diagnoses are. And there are very, very many of these specific symptom checkers that are out there. And the question is are they accurate in any way? Are they harmful in any way?
Let's talk about how that was evaluated.
So in this particular study, they created 45 vignettes. So for example, when we're judging medical students as they're graduating or we're doing clinical exams, we'll have a patient vignette and you'll go through the history and physical and you'll show us what your diagnostic acumen is, how you come to your diagnosis. So this pretty much is the same way. And the vignettes were divided between something that's truly urgent, something that's not so urgent, and something likely that can be watchful waiting at home. So you have these three different triage levels. And what was found was in slightly more than a third of the cases, about 31%, that's a little less than a third of the cases, in fact, they got the diagnosis. In about half the time, they would get it in the top 3 diagnoses, but many times it wasn't there. In terms of triage, most of these did a little bit better, but they tend to overcall the site. So what that means is that they're more likely to tell you this is urgent, prompting a medical visit when it's not. And you can see why a site would err on the side of caution rather than accuracy. And the bottom line is that they aren't as accurate as you would imagine they would be.
And that's great information for general public, and me included, once in a while, who may have a symptom or two, and you go on a site like a WebMD or a Mayo Clinic and you try to kind of decipher what's going on. Is it ever a good thing to use those sites?
In terms of deciding, is this really urgent? Do I need to get to emergency room now versus is it not urgent? It might be, because in terms of the accuracy of urgent triage, that was where they were best about 80% of the time. Although if something's truly urgent, taking the time to go through a web checker may not be in your best interest as opposed to getting to urgent care if that's really what you need. In fact, most of these sites were the same as telephone triage, but telephone triage has the ability to interact, to be able to get
that's the difference.
More detailed symptoms, how long has this been going on? So for example, fatigue and headache, very non-specific when you put in fatigue and headache. Is this fatigue and headache sudden onset fever, nausea, vomiting in a child under the age of 6 months? That's urgent care. So there's all the nuances that happen in the course of a physical examination. The flip side of it is that these symptom checkers are likely here to stay. And these are different than someone who goes into a web engine and comes out with a myriad of diagnoses and then comes in with all these sheets and tries to direct. And often you end up getting misled down the wrong path, over-investigated, under-investigated, not really relying on what's most important in terms of the doctor-patient relationship.
So just know what you're dealing with.
Know what you're dealing with and recognize that the accuracy of these sites can be somewhat not completely accurate. They still don't replace someone like your own doctor and the relationship between you and your doctor.
Marla, thanks so much.
My pleasure.